they rocking it.
50's in the house. 50's in the house. Yeah.
Good stuff.
We the bull, honey. Don't mess with the bulls.
I know that's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lord. Okay. Calm down. Gather yourself. Calm down. We recording. We can't edit all this. Goodness gracious. Woo. Somebody shouldn't have went there.
Hey man, you gotta know how to rub them, boy. You mess with them zodiac signs, boy. I'm telling you. Somebody said what? Who said what? Sagittarius is a sucker, man. What they jump all over you. What you said about Sagittarius? Wait till I see what
back up off those Sagittarius.
They want to fight.
All right. Let's get together now. 15 minutes in.
Is this the CDL call, everybody?
Right. Right, Barbara.
Yeah, it sound like CDLP stand for something else right now. Where y'all talking over here? All right, I want to, Sharon, I wanted to make sure the YouTube was running because I don't want to keep cutting you off this. I don't want to keep cutting your introduction now. So we good now. We rolling. We got the window. We got to see the YouTube window up. So we got any other trainers on besides me and you? Nobody else? Make sure we get them all. Make sure they locked in. All right, I don't see nobody else. So we go ahead and get started with introductions. Sharon, you go ahead and get started, and then I'll go and we'll get started with our interview. I asked a couple people about some calls, and then we're gonna get started on our interview with Mr. Darryl Stanley, new group opener. Care about how he opened up a group with a field trainer. Yeah. All right, Sharon, the floor is yours.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and had time to reflect on, how grateful you are. And it's that season, man. It's the holiday season. I will say, though, with transportation, we have to remember there are essential people. So a lot of them still are on the road when we're gathering with family. So just remember that during the holiday season. My name is Sharon Ivy. I'm from Byron, Georgia. Been with Legal Shield for about 8.5 years now. June is always our anniversary. We are 50K ring earners, Business Solutions Sapphire Associates. I earned the Ladies of Justice Award here in 2019 as the Field Trainer of the Year. And just love working in this space. We've been able to continue to get up and bless companies and drivers. We've personally written over 1,000 apps. We've earned that achievement with Legal Shield. And but the great thing about it, guys, is that, a few years ago, just, choosing my major and my minor. I was talking about the level 1 basic class just today. Every chance I get, I try to get on it, no matter how much I hear Marty, I always pick up something, right? And so just chose CDLP as my major, definitely focus on the small business plan, cross-selling in this space, serving that entire driver and company with with our products that we offer. I love this coaching call. It has taught me a lot over the years. And, now I host the accountability call on Thursday night, which it's just a great group of people who are masterminding on their daily activities. And those people are the people, you see. We're going to highlight one tonight. But those guys are really going out every day and trying to master their craft. And it's working for them. They're opening groups and, doing some phenomenal things. So just love to come to this call and learn and just, collaborate with other CDLP associates. We're the state trainer for Georgia in the CDLP space. And so, if we can assist you in any way, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us. So with that, Dunbar, I pass it over to you.
All right. Is it safe? All right, good stuff. All right, so Robert Dunbar here. Been with Legal Shield 13 years, CDLP trainer for about 4 years. network marketing trainer for about 6 years. Really love the CDLP space. 100K ringer and 250K ringers on my team. We really do this really just to assist the field in getting better. Wanted to have somewhere for people to plug into on a week-to-week basis. Some years ago, we had just one call that we were doing on the third Friday of every month. And it just wasn't enough. We felt like it wasn't enough because people were only able to get together once a month on that and then show up at a CDLP certification training in your area. Now we've got the Thursday accountability, the Monday call. We've got a monthly CDLP certification online, and it helps keep people plugged in. I try to get some different forms together and some things together to send out to the field so people will have more lead magnets to talk to more companies. And now I am actually listening in on calls on the Blitz at 11 o'clock on Tuesdays for people who ask. If you ask me to listen in, I listen in on Zoom. I hear you make your calls and I take notes on it. And I talk to you about things you can say better when you're making that call. And I do that live with you so that you can get better at making your calls, because it's all about helping everybody get better at the craft. And sometimes it just takes tweaking a few things at a time. So that's where we at. That's what we're looking at doing here for the future. So before we get into our actual interview with Sharon Holliday and Darryl Stanley, Darryl Stanley, of course, opened up a new group. We're going to talk about that. And in his first group, and Sharon Holliday was his field trainer and assistance with that. But Darryl Stanley has reached out to more than just one field trainer over the years, and he was able to have success with this field trainer. So it lets you know, we talk about this all the time. You need to find a field trainer that you can work with your personality, with the skill set. It's like getting in a relationship. It's like getting married. It's like anything else, right? You can't just look for one person and say, hey, I need a field trainer. You are a field trainer. It's got to work. It doesn't always work that way. So understand that you have to find somebody that you guys can work together. And Darryl Stanley was able to find that with Sharon Holliday. They worked together. They got some things going and they got that group open. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to hear from both of them, how it was them working together, things you should do, things you shouldn't do, all of that great stuff. And we're going to celebrate Darryl Stanley for opening that group as well. But before we get into that, I just want to check the temperature and see, has there been anybody else who has upped their call days, right? Up their call days. By a show of hands, if you have upped your call days and started calling more than just on the Blitz day, so that you can have more success by calling on more prospects. And has it helped your numbers? Has it helped your confidence? What's happening with your business? How do you feel like it's affecting your day-to-day sales and building of your prospect list by making calls? So if anybody else has added call days, just put your hand up, not physically, the electronic hand. If you don't know how to find the electronic hand, then just unmute yourself, because if you put your hand up, I might not see, because I can't see everybody. So, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions about what you did. Anybody? All right, see Barbara Smith. I'm going to get started with Barbara Smith first. Barbara Smith, if you can go ahead and cut to me. How are you?
Hello, everyone. How are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent. I am doing excellent. How about yourself? You good?
I am doing awesome.
Good.
I'm excited.
So you upped your calls? Did you up your calls, up the days? Tell me what you did. Tell us.
I up my calls. I get on the Blitz ever since it started on Tuesday. And I remember when the phones were so heavy and I didn't know, what to do. I just knew that the the phones were just heavy. But what I did, Miss Sharanda Ivy is my field trainer. And thank you so very much, Miss Sharanda, for taking the time to listen and to help. But what I did, Sharanda would always tell me, pick the phone up, you just do it. And just do it, really focus in on that. Now my calls, I started just a Tuesday on the Blitz, and they got easier and easier. It's just better and better. So then I started from Tuesday, then sometime Miss Sharanda would set some time aside. I started focusing with her on the call and the rest of the group. So I do now 3 to 4 days a week. Every Tuesday, I get at least 25 to 30 calls each Tuesday. I do Monday, Sunday and Monday, I do my research. Tuesday, all day long Tuesday, even in the afternoon, I'm doing close to 20 to 30 extra calls. So what I'm pushing myself to do, I'm trying to get, and I will get there, to at least 100 calls 2 times a day. So I'm doing 3 to 4 days of calling. And all I know to do is to keep smiling and to keep dialing. And that's what I've been doing. So thank you all for all that you do. Thank you, Miss Sharanda. Thank you, Mr. Dunbar, for all that you put into me, because it helped me when I was afraid to pick up the phone. And I'm an LA County employee. I made almost 100 calls before 10 a.m. from 8 to 10. So if I could do that for them, that's what I told Miss Sharanda when I first talked to her. If I can do this for those people that care nothing about me, then I can do it for my own business. But I want to say thank you. But my calls are really, I'm getting a lot of response from the calls. I just opened a group up, Miss Sharanda, another group. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank
Second
you.
of all, I'll hit you up. I'll inbox you or text you or something so we can get you on to do an interview for the group you opened up. And, you know, you and Sharanda could talk about what y'all did to get that opened up, because that's what we want to see. We want to see those testimonials one after the next. So people, you know, you just got to beat it into people that if you make the calls, if you work with a field trainer, if you need to, I know everybody doesn't need to work with a field trainer, obviously, but people who need to work with a field trainer, work with a field trainer, take some guidance, take some coaching, and really and just blossom. And in my opinion, it gets, I'm not saying this because I'm a field trainer, guys, because first of all, you already know we had this conversation. I don't take a whole bunch and all that. So this is not about me making money off of spite of a field trainer. I'm telling you guys, a field trainer is a coach for you. And if you think that you don't need a coach in your business, unless you Marty Galano or one of these other guys who that's making $300,000 a year doing B2B, you need a coach. You need a coach. So you need to be working with somebody that's going to encourage you. Sometimes a coach is not about just saying, hey, this is what you need to be doing. It's about bouncing things off of a person. Most of my regular coaching clients, I'm not really teaching them anything. I'm just bringing out of them what's already been implemented in them, gifted in them. They just sometimes people just need people to bring things to life in them, right? So using the field trainer really is like, hey, I got somebody that I can connect with and call and make calls with and have, you know, to celebrate with, and somebody that's going to encourage me. Guys, it's worth every bit of whatever you're sharing with them for them to work with you with that. And if you're one of those people that keep thinking it's not, you're going to keep on being one of those people that's watching the testimonial not being one. I'm just telling you, like, it just makes sense to work with somebody that will assist you. And you'll see that on the testimonial today. But look, Byron, that is super awesome. I really love like how you shot out there with it, and you shoot like high numbers of calls. Like you're looking at hundreds of calls, and that's what it takes to really be successful in B2B. So I salute you for that. I'm gonna turn it over to Sharanda Ivy, because she's obviously doing field training things with you, so she's helping you. So she can talk to this as well, and kind of how she's encouraging you and other people in the field. Sharanda?
You're muted. You're muted.
Like Barbara, first of all, I say Dunbar, Barbara is putting in the work herself. You know, like a lot of people, you know, she's just doing the activity, and what she's learned over time, the more she does the activity, the results will come. You know, she's opened up several groups, you know, and, you know, like she said, she just opened up a group. I didn't have anything to do with that, right? I mean, she gets on the phone with me, we have coaching calls or whatever, but she goes and she makes the dials. And that's what the hope is for field trainers, to eventually give you the courage and the tools you need to, you know, open that group. You know, you don't always have to have a field trainer with you to open a group. I know, you know, an accountability call, you know, Barbara, you know, Wanda, you know, a lot of them, you know, they know what to say. I mean, they've heard it enough. But, you know, just like I always say, people know that every time they talk to me, activity yields results. And the more activity you do, the more posture and confidence you'll get. And the phones get lighter the more you do the activity. I mean, I tell myself that every day. I mean, activity is where it's at. And so Barbara, just like others, she's just doing the activity. And so, kudos to her and kudos to everybody else that just putting in the work, because that's how you're going to actually learn. So that's it for me.
Good stuff. And I know, and I want to throw this out there real quickly too. I know I told you guys that we was going to go over some numbers on some goal setting and things. The reason why I changed that this week, guys, is because I realized later on, after I told y'all that a couple days later, that we were closing out the month. And I know that there weren't going to be as many people on, because as people, they're doing their last bit, they're coming off the holiday, trying to close off because they spent time with family and all that. So I would rather start the fresh month off, the beginning of next month. So at the beginning of December, the first call in December, we're going to be talking about how to set your SMART goals for next year. We're going to actually spend some time doing that, crunching the numbers, and I'm going to show you guys how to make $50,000 to $70,000 in, I believe it's 20 hours a week, doing Legal Shield if you just kind of follow this pattern. So we're going to talk about that. So we're going into the new year. You got a game plan. You got a SMART goal worksheet that you can look at. Like, you don't want to wait until the first. Don't wait until the end of December. Don't wait till Christmas holiday. Get your SMART goals set up now. Get them on your whiteboard now. Get all of that ready to go. So you're firing off in the beginning of the year with a total plan. So we're going to talk about that next week, Monday. Luckily we had Mr. Darryl Stanley, who had broke that first group. So we're just going to be able to talk to him. So what other hands we got up here? We've got Jackie Hamilton. Come on, unmute yourself, Jackie Hamilton.
Yes. So I started making more calls other than just for the Blitz. I just recently did that. Last week, I think I told you guys I was going to do it because I do mostly network marketing, and I'm just getting into this, really digging deep into the CDLP because this is something that I wanted to do. But now I'm starting my focus there. So yeah, I started making calls other than, and I want somebody to learn from my mistakes as well, because I made one. And if Sharonda is my field trainer. I knew her schedule. She had open. She told me something, and it just kind of went over my head. And so when I got ready to make, I called this one of the decision makers up, and so then she wanted to schedule this other time, and so I was like, oh yeah, okay. Now I'm scheduling the time for Sharonda, and I haven't talked to Sharonda, and it's not on Sharonda's book, okay? So I was like, oh my God, I gotta call Sharonda, see if she could. Sharonda said, what if I had something going on? She said, and then she said, and you know what, Jackie, stop acting like I'm not gonna hold your hand. I'm not gonna walk you through everything. You know this. You're a beast, and this. You doing this, and you keep. And so you know what? She had to put me back and let me think about it. Okay, and this is what I do. I do know this. So anyway, needless to say, we did the appointment with the lady. But I mean, it was a good thing she took it because it was long. And I told Sharonda, when we got through with that, she actually had a class with this chick. Well, excuse me, y'all. This lady. She actually had a class with her. And I mean, I said, I wish anything, this could have been recorded because it was a whole training. Because, when you talk about they don't know what they're doing, they don't know what's going on. I mean, she was asking, Sharonda was asking all the questions. She was telling her how to do this, how to do that. Sharonda had to let you know, because I was just like, my mouth was just open. I was just in awe of all of that she was going through. And this lady was just like in awe of everything that Sharonda was telling her. And so it was just because usually what I do is, when I talk to someone, I write down questions or objectives, and then I go back and set an appointment for my field training part with Sharonda. And then I go over those things with her. She goes over those things with me. And you know what I could have said differently. I guess it's something what you're doing, Robert. I didn't know about that Tuesday thing, but this is what I had been doing with Sharanda. You know, so I would make an appointment with the field trainer back with her, so I could go over things, so I could do it. You know, get it right, get it done right, like that. So yeah, I started picking up the pace, making more calls, and going back, following back up with those that we had set appointments with. Appointments change, you know, and then Sharanda said, you know, don't get down. I mean, you know, these people are busy. They busy. It's not like they just gonna be there right there to answer the phone just because they made that appointment with you. Things happen. So yeah, I've done that, and I appreciate her more than she even knows. You know, I appreciate this forum. I appreciate our call on Thursday because I learned so much. I'm just glad I got an open mind to be able to learn, you know, to take it all in. And you'd be surprised what you can learn from someone. You know, somebody might think they don't have an input, but they really do. And so, you know, I listen to different things. I like Mr. Norris when he be talking, how he goes out and you know, and so they'd be surprised some of the things that they say. You'll use those things out there when you're talking to someone. So anyway, yeah, I did pick up my calls. Just wanted to, you know, thank you all for letting me share that, and appreciate all of you all, every last one of you that's on the calls, that's on there on Thursday. I'll be listening, taking notes and everything. So thank you so much for sharing.
Oh no, thank you for sharing, Jackie. And you guys notice the pattern? So the last two people who rose their hand and spoke, both are using a field trainer. All right. So either there's a pattern, or the people who are making extra calls who aren't using a field trainer just aren't speaking up, right? You make a decision on which one it is. But it's just interesting enough, the people who are saying, hey, I'm making more calls, I'm having success, I'm being plugged in, right? I'm building my business, I'm getting appointments, I'm getting people to corroborate with me from the other end, I'm having decent conversations. They're working with a field trainer. They're working with somebody that's encouraging them, right? They can bounce ideas off of, that's correcting the things that they're saying wrong. Guys, it's about coaching, right? And the field trainer is a form of a coach for you when you're working with them, if you're working with the right field trainer. Now, I know every field trainer is not doing that, but you guys follow that. That's what that scenario is. If you're not working with the right field trainer, just find a different one. But that is how you should be working. You should be able to talk about your field trainer the way that Jackie just talked about Sharanda, right? The way Robert just talked about Sharanda. You should be able to talk about your field trainer that way. If you're not, you might need to look at getting a different field trainer so that you can get excited about what you're doing and working with that person and using that person to grow your business, so that this process of opening groups work when you're using a field trainer, if that makes sense, right? So if that makes sense, put yes to yes in a one. Put one in the chat box if you agree. So Sharanda, another person using you as a field trainer, more success. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up for you to talk about that.
No, it's just, again, activity, you know, like Jackie said, she's tapping in the CD, you know, she's tapping in solutions. For those that don't know Jackie's one of the top network recruiters. You know, she recruits a lot, but, you know, she just has a passion for this space. And, you know, and like you said, you know, like you were for me, and, you know, a lot of the other trainers, you know, I remember you and Lamar, you know, a lot of times I just called y'all and I did all the talking. I just needed y'all to listen. I just need to figure it out, right? And like you say, sometimes that's all, you know, we need from people. You know, we just need that support. You know, like we have it in us, you just pull it out of us. And so that's what I feel with, you know, the people I work with. They get on the calls, they're plugged in, because a lot of the people, if I ask you, you know, have you got on the coaching call, or do you know, are you really working in the space? You know, I invite them to the accountability call, and if they don't show up, I know they're not focused like I'm focused. And so therefore, like you said, everybody don't get that time. And, you know, these individuals that are speaking are consistently showing up. And you have to do that to get, everybody know Mr. Edwards here. You don't keep it a secret. You don't get no time. You ain't doing that. You don't get no time. I remember
Right.
that. So, so that every now and then, I got on there a couple of weeks ago, but then they got to inbox you and ask you all these questions. No, we have a free form that you can plug into, and you choose not to. And the time you're trying to get outside of that is when, others are building their business. So you have to remember that you have to do your part. The field trainer can only do so much, but you have to do your part. I remember you told me one time about mentors, people, when you're looking for a mentor, you shouldn't have to look for a mentor. You should be producing, or you should be plugged in, or you should be performing in a place where a mentor comes and they want to mentor you.
That's it. And that is so key, Sharanda. And I said that I was doing a Super Saturday up in Maryland for Darnell Self and Karen Beverly. And it came from a question. Somebody raised their hand and said, look, I'm looking for a mentor. You can't find a mentor. Mentors find mentees. You don't look for a mentor. If you're active and you're working, man, a mentor is going to see themselves in you from when they were in that position, and they're going to want to help. Like, we wanted to help you. You see what I mean? Like when you got serious and said, look, when you start showing up to CDLP trainers every time, when you started getting on stuff and calling and asking questions that let us know that you were talking to people, like, we wanted to help you because we saw that drive and that energy, and it's not a lot of people who have it. So it's not like we don't have a lot. I'm not on the phone with people with drive all day long. Because it ain't a whole bunch of people with drive. So when you find somebody that has it, you're hungry to help them because you want to see them succeed, because you can see the twinkle in their eyes. And it's like, okay, you're going to help that person because you see that they really have got to a point in their business where they're saying, I'm not doing this other stuff. I'm not doing this no more. I'm going to get serious and I'm going to make this happen. And you really want to help them. So you end up just mentoring them by default. Right? Yep. So it's just really important to understand, guys. Use these field trainers to help you build your business, and they will answer your phone and talk to you if they see that you are out here getting things done. And they'll take your phone call and they'll pull you into that circle and they'll work with you.
I had somebody book with me this morning at 8:00 in the morning. She called last week. She was like, "We don't have anything on your schedule, and this is the only time that they'll talk to me. But you don't have anything on your schedule." I say, just call them. If they answer, call me. And I did that because she shows up. She made dials. She shows up. She's on the call tonight, I'm sure. She'll be on the call on Thursday, I'm sure. And she sets appointments with me, and she's doing the activity. 8:00 in the morning, I'm up. I'm up at 5. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a difference. But I promise you, if it was somebody that's like, hey, I got this decision making, they want to talk to me at 8:00, I've never seen them on the coaching call because I know who's on the coaching call. I don't ever see them they don't get on the accountability call. They're not engaged in different things. I see that because I'm there. So it would have been a difference. I would have been like, well, I'm not available. If my calendar, I'm not available. It's a difference. But, and that's not to be ugly. I promise you. I mean, I know you got a calendar too, but Alistair Edwards, Sharon Larry taught me, nope, no.
It's people that are on this line right now, they'll tell you, without me, you ever have this conversation that we having right now, will tell you that I do the same thing. My calendar starts at 9 in the morning, ends at 9 at night. And people will call me and say, Dunbar, you don't have nothing open. And I say, because I don't have nothing open.
Right.
And if you call me and I know you're a person that you set an appointment, and I know who you are, I know you work, and I know all of those things work, then I always say, hey, what time you need the appointment? I'll go on the manually do it. Because I know that person is serious. So I'm going to make that time for that person because I know that person is serious about their business. Not somebody that just happened to have a family member that drives the truck, and now you want every field trainer to help you close this one deal for one membership, And then you're gonna go back into some hole
To network.
and disappear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not gonna get. I can help that person, but I'm not gonna put time on my calendar to help that person. If it's nothing available, it's nothing available. So guys, you gotta put the work in if you want the help. And that's the way. That's how it works for me. That's how it worked for Sharonda. That's how it worked for Sharon Holliday, Lamar Reynolds, right? And all the other CDLP trainers, from Alan Roma to Melissa Wilder to Darnell Stanley. In order for him to earn, he had to earn people's time. And I teach that with my clients that I work with. You got to earn people's time. You got to earn leaders' time. You cannot just, no, that's not owed to you, right? It's like a driver's license. Like, that's a privilege. If you get on the phone with Darnell Self, that's a privilege if it comes to him helping you with your network marketing business. If you get on the phone with Alistair Edwards, that's a privilege for him to help you with your business because he doesn't have to do that. But it's good help that somebody else would have to pay for outside of this space. So just earn it by doing the right thing and you can make that happen. So I'm gonna take one more before we go into our interview because I want to leave time for our interview with Darryl Stanley and Sharon Holliday. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit Rose Pruitt. Unmute yourself.
Yes, I had some dental work done, so I'm not going to be able to do a lot of talking, but last week I had mentioned that I had increased my calls. I'm doing them four days a week, 2 hours a day. I called last week and I was really shocked that I do my research before I make the calls. And I've been doing, looking for like tens and speeders, like Mr. Anthony Norris. So I received a call and I was talking to this one, the carrier. And when I was telling him about the two tens that he had.
We'll get that muted. Go ahead.
When I was talking to him about the 2 tens that he had, he wanted me to come in that day, but I had made the call like in the afternoon and I have not been going out. So I've been making dials at home and he wanted me to come in. So I figured, okay, I've got to go in. So he wanted like 8 o'clock that morning. So I noticed the address on there. It was it was really in a mall in a room. So I really didn't want to go by myself. And so I asked one of the associates here to go along with me because it was 8 o'clock in the morning. It was really at one of these strip malls. And I did meet with him and went over the SMS report with him. And he thought that when the drivers came and gave him the tickets, that was all that he had to do. He had a safety director, but he really wasn't data queuing any of the tickets. He didn't have any of them. He had fired the 2 that had the 10. So I had to talk to him about, if he knew that if they had paid the ticket or not to see if we could help them. But anyway, during the conversation, he decided what was the day before the holiday. So what he's going to do is schedule a safety meeting and have me come in and talk to all the drivers so they'll all be educated on our services. So he's setting that up so that my partner and I can go in and do a presentation at the safety meeting. So that's one coming up, but my goal is to make 30 calls a day. And like I said, I do the research beforehand because you have to be able to show that they need our services. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just upping my calls. I know a couple of weeks ago you had talked about if you want to earn the ring, you can't do 2 calls a day. So I took that. I said, okay, I'm going to have to up my game if I'm going to reach the goal that I wanted to reach. So I appreciate you, having that conversation during that training. So that's where I'm at now. I have my calendar. I'm committed to it. so that I can meet my goals, and that's what I'm doing.
All right. No, that's excellent, Rose. And I promise you, if that make more than 2 calls a day push you to do more, you wait till next week when we talk about earning 50 to 70,000 with 20 hours a day, 20 hours a week. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about reverse engineering and how to know what to sell, how many calls to make based on what you need to make in order to earn that money. And that's, you know, and that's where it comes in. That's where the tracking and the calculating and the reverse engineering comes in, so that you can say, now you got real control of your time. And you're saying, look, I know how much money I want to make, and I know how much time I need to make it. And that's real. That's being a boss. You follow? That's being a boss when you're not just flying by the seat of your pants and working all day long and trying to wonder, what is the results going to be? What am I going to make? What did I make at the end of the year? You should know, based on how much money you want to make, how much time it's going to take you to make it. So we're going to talk about that next week. So when you go into the new year, you'll be a little bit more set on your goals and know how to structure yourself to say, okay, I know I need to make 100 small business calls to sell this many small business plans. I need to call this many CDLP groups to close this many CDLP groups, and I get an average of this many memberships per group. We're going to reverse engineer all of that, so you know how to calculate everything from your performance club to your bonus money on the networking side, if you're doing that, to calls in every area of Legal Shield to make the money you need to make, so you know exactly where you're going to be at. It's not a surprise, give or take a few $1,000, if that makes sense. So we're going to be talking about that next week so people can get ready for the new year. So Sharanda, anything?
No. I know Rose activity. You know, it doesn't surprise me, activity. So keep doing it, Rose.
I appreciate Sharanda too. I know when I make the calls, I do get appointments, but like you said, you know, when you get those appointments, they don't answer the phone. So I didn't want to, well, I should say I should fill Sharanda's calendar up with these calls when they're not answering the calls. So what I'm doing now is just following up to secure an appointment where I can either go in or set something up over the phone.
Excellent. And you hear how Rose said that, Sharanda? She said, hey, they getting tickets, y'all. They're getting them from the attorney, but y'all ain't got to queue on these bad boys. She been listening. She said, you getting tickets, you ain't doing nothing about them.
Oh.
You paid an attorney to fight a ticket that you ain't that accused, so you really just threw money away.
Right. Oh, you need to hear Wanda. I mean, them accountability people, man, them people, they got like rhino skin, man. You hear them, man, you be like, what? If my eyes was closed, I thought it was me. What?
I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this interview going. Mr. Darryl Stanley, I know you somewhere smiling because you always smiling, brother. Where you at? Where Darryl Stanley at?
Here I am.
All right, brother. How are you, man?
Great.
Everybody give a big congrats to Darryl Stanley for opening his first group, man. You talk about persistency. This brother been trying to get groups closed for the longest, and he ain't give up, and he pushed and pushed. And when he called a field trainer and they don't help enough, he called another one. They don't help enough, he called another one. And he found one to help get that group open. So he kept on going. Consistency and persistency, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations on that new group opening, man. So we're going to talk to you here about that, you and Sharon Holliday. So Sharon, unmute yourself too as well. Both of you guys, of course, I don't hear no Sharon Holliday. Y'all know that she's a field trainer and that she's been, I think, the #1 field trainer 2 times since she's been a field trainer. And she's been helping people open up groups, helping people close memberships. And she helped Darryl Stanley open his very first group. So Darryl Stanley, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit, you know, how long you've been in the business, kind of what you've been dealing with, the ups and downs of trying to get a group open, and how working with a field trainer helps you do so. And then we're going to pitch it over to Sharon Holliday from her end, and, you know, what she's been able to do to help you on that with that as well, brother.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I've been in Legal Shield since the year 2000. It's been great. I'm born and raised in Baltimore City all my life, living here, and I got into Legal Shield and started doing the network side. But I found out that the the CDL side is where I need to be. I love it over here. And to have everyone at all of the field trainers, I'd like to thank each and every one of them. I was on the Blitz, and this is how this business came about. I was on the Blitz, and I got an appointment with this business, and I set it up. So then I started looking for someone to help me get it going on, get this business up and running. So I looked at Sharonda's, but I didn't see her out there. So I said, well, let me call Sharon Holliday. And we called the business owner, and we built a relationship with the business owner, and we were able to get her small business and the child defense plan and the CDL plan. She wouldn't get the other plan because her daughters were, she didn't get the legal plan, the family plan, because her daughters are older people. So, and she has 7 vehicles and 5 drivers. So this was a good group for us to open.
All right, good brother, good. So, and you say you try to sell everything. You said she ain't buy everything though, huh?
Right.
Hey man, it's top selling, right? You start high and come down. If you start low, ain't nowhere to go, brother. So no, that's good stuff, man. I love it. And before I turn it over to Sharon Holliday, Sharonda, you wanna jump in here and say anything before I turn it over to Sharon?
No, I just Darryl been on the accountability call. Like I said, this is the accountability call. It's a few new people on there, but it's about 23 solid people that's been running for about 2 years on that group. I mean, they show up every week, and these are the people that you see on the boards. I mean, we just starting back to recognize them here, but these are the people you see on the boards. These are the people you see opening new groups, getting bonuses and things like that. And that's because they show up. And kudos to Darryl. I don't work with Darryl in the past, and like you said, my calendar didn't have any openings. But again, he said he was on the Blitz. And a lot of people you see on the Blitz are those people that plug into these calls. The Blitz is phenomenal. So I mean, if you're challenged with dials, guys, or time, I get on the Blitz myself because of being busy, but just to be in the midst of that energy, those 2 hours, if you can't do it no other time, just say that's a no matter what time. If, because of the energy, knowing that everybody else is there. And so like Darryl said, he made that appointment. And I know a lot of people make appointments on those lists. Like Rose said, sometimes you can't set appointment. Like you have to go right in, right there, because they might say, hey, I can talk right now. And so, it's like, do it scared, man. Set the appointment or move it along where you can get it to the close, and that's the ultimate goal. So kudos there for the activity, for opening the group, and, just being consistent, and that's all it is. That's all it takes. I promise you guys, that's all it takes. And he's just an example. So kudos. So back over to you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, Miss Sharon Holliday, two-time field trainer of the month or quarter, or I'm not sure which one it was, but I know you've been awarded that 2 different times. I know you came out the gate running as a field trainer. You work with people in Virginia and Florida and everywhere else. You helped Darryl open up his first group. What was it like working with him? How would you encourage people to continue working with field trainers? And just let us know how you was able to help him and how you were able to work with him in a way to help him get that group open.
Great. Thank you for allowing me to share, Mr. Dunbar. Well, Darryl had reached out. Let's see. I think it was he had secured that appointment on a Blitz dial-in, and come to find out that he needed to have a field trainer to to roll it out on the next Tuesday at 11 a.m. And he was like, I reached out to Randa. She didn't have any availability. Robert was unavailable. And Ms. Holliday, can you do it? And I said, yeah, it's one of the dials. If you secured an appointment with a decision maker, terminal manager, or or SD, by all means, definitely let's roll with it. I will adjust my schedule. I can't speak for Robert and Sharanda, but I hear Sharanda adjust her schedule. If you get the appointment, go ahead, just give us a call. And so we spoke with his particular personnel. The husband is the driver. She is the administrator, the boss, the head honcho itself. So that was easy for me because we had a lot of similarities. Her husband's birthday is the same date as mine. Her birthday is the same. Once we had gotten the rapport together, it just made it smooth. We was on the phone for about 20, 25, 30 minutes. I allowed her to give her information, to find the discovery call, find out how many drivers she had. 7 drivers, 1 owner op, the other 2, including her husband, are W-2s. And then found out what her needs were, what she has going on, because I asked her about a couple of her safety scores with this driver and that driver. And one of the drivers was a female, and she's been with her for the last 10 years. And so therefore it was like, that's my best driver, but she got a citation. That threw the red flag for me. With that particular citation, I said, well, what happened with this? Did your insurance costs go up for it? She's like, no, she got on probation for it. And I was like, probation? I didn't understand that this particular citation drew a 2-year probation because they was ready to have that driver removed off of her insurance policy so she can let her go and pick up another insurance carrier for that one person, or stand the chance of losing her rates altogether. So however it went down, she's still on probation. And I think it was I don't convince, I just kept educating her the need for the services. It's a financial thing for her right now. That's why she has not gotten the legal and the identity theft at this time, because she will be getting it. But when I showed her the value for her small business and the reason why every time her drivers roll off the lot, that they're pulling everything, that her livelihood, her husband's, her children's bank account, medical, everything that belongs to them as the business owner, family owned, small mom and pop trucking company, that those drivers, anytime they get infraction citations and violations, that rolls uphill to the business owner. And so therefore, it's to her best value to have her business protected because, and I'd like to always give the latest, or I like to go back to Tracy Morgan, August 2014, I believe, in regards to what happened with that Swift driver that was driving for Walmart that was over the hours of service, and he got the manslaughter charges and several other charges. I said, that can happen to any of us. It's just not somebody that's famous. And so when I shared that with her drivers, she really got the understanding about being sued. And so therefore, that was a no-brainer for her to protect her business. And then when it came to her husband, I said the same thing. Your husband, there's always the four-wheelers that causes the citation and violations for our drivers. Your husband is a driver. Whatever he does, he is the business owner. He's going to get it from the both ends as a driver as well as a business owner. If any infractions come on his driving record as well, it rolls up to the company CSA scores also. And so what me and Darryl was doing is just definitely educating. Darryl took notes. I told him, please take notes because I talk fast. And when I'm writing down and asking questions of the personnel, I'm already writing information to fill in the small business application, the group authorization form. I'm getting all that information on the front end. So when she does have to go back, which she did, and speak with her husband to say, hey, I need to run this past you. She said, I already know I want to get it, but I got to run it past my husband. I told her, I understand that. I wouldn't do anything without running it past your husband also when it's a good time that I can speak to him. because I don't want her going back regurgitating anything of what we just shared. Her lane is being a small business owner for a trucking company. My lane is protecting small business owners with trucking companies. So allow me to speak with your husband just as well. But she was able, we played phone tag a lot, but we was able to secure the account, get the census report. Darryl, you don't know this, but I have the census report to start calling because I'm still on holiday travel right now. Sharon Holliday, holiday travel. And so to start calling her drivers, because this is the holiday season, and they are, like Sharonda said, they are essential personnel and they need to know about our program, put it in place. Even if she didn't, it almost was a hard sell, but I was just letting her know if she wanted to add to $10 just to cover the drivers, if she's not giving them any bonuses or, no perks for the holiday season, that they can have the program as a self-pay benefit and or as a payroll deduct or what's it called, settlement deduct, and go from there. So I finally got the census report. I'll be reaching out to her drivers one by one just to educate them of the program that they have in place on how it's beneficial for them to protect their livelihood, their family lives, and anything else that we have to offer. Just like Robert said, I start high and I bring my numbers down low. What is it? Wanda tell you, I'm a numbers woman. You got to know your numbers in order to work with me. Darryl, the same thing. Tyson, the same thing. And all of us are on the accountability call to be able to learn every Thursday, get more knowledge. As much as experience as I have, I learn from the new people. That's why I'm on that call. So with that, Robert, I'll turn the call back over to you, sir.
No, excellent. And I love the way you laid that out and kind of formatted what you did and how you work with the person, because again, that defines how you should be. Our field trainer should be able to help you and do those things. Now, Darryl opening up his first group, all of the things that Sharon said that she did to help that process, Darryl wouldn't have known to do those things. And that's why it's so important to work with a field trainer, so that the person working with you will see all the different things, everything from getting the group open to pulling the company information, to having to make several calls back and forth to catch that person. Because like somebody said Sharonda told them earlier, these guys are busy, so don't take it personal, right? When somebody's not answering the phone and not getting back with you, it may not be you, it may be them just being busy. And she also talked about the customer service afterwards, picking up the phone, calling the drivers, right? You will have some companies that'll say, oh, just enroll my guys. I'm just gonna make them get it. And then you think that you hit the jackpot, but what you have to realize is you still need to call those drivers individually and make sure they understand how to use the plan so that they hold on to it, so that they don't have a bad experience, right? Don't just take that lottery ticket and think that, oh, they just gonna make them sign up so I get 20 new sales and then you move on to the next group. No, educate your drivers so that 20 remains to be 20 on your books. And these are all things that a field trainer will help you do by saying, hey, let's get this census report, or let's get this sheet of the drivers and call on them and say, hey, look, this is the plan that we have. This is how you use the plan. Or do you know? And I normally just start by calling them and saying, hey, look, this is Robert Dunbar. I'm with Oceanside Benefits Group. I'm working with your safety manager, Thomas, and he asked me to give you guys a call about this benefit. This is what the benefit does. I want to go ahead and get you enrolled over the phone. It's going to be a simple process. I got my screen up right now. I just got to ask you a few questions. What am I doing, guys? I'm leaning into the sale. I'm not asking them, do they want the membership? I'm calling you because your safety manager told me to give you guys a call about this new benefit. I want to get you enrolled. I'm going to let them stop me. They adults. If they don't want to buy it, they can say, no, I'm not going to get it right now. I'm not going to call them and say, hey, can you do a three-way call? Would you like to do a three-way call? Do you want some more information? Do you want to sign up right now? I'm not asking people. I'm going for myself, and I'll let them refuse it if they don't want to get it. So those are things that field trainers will show you how to do in the field when you work with them, so you know how to really make that sale and close that deal. So Sharon, right, really good job of working with Darryl and walking with him through that process so that he understands how to do it. Because guys, not only remember, it's like the 5 levels of leadership, right? A leader, if the leader you're working with can't show you, right? Like you said, I'm on the networking side, and you say, I want to hit executive director. Can your leader help you get the ED? But can your leader help you showing ED how to break an ED. That's the 5 levels of leadership. So when you're being trained by a field trainer, are they training you well enough to train somebody to open their first group? Right? Because that's real training. Training is not me showing you just enough to come back to me. It's me showing you how to go show somebody how to do what I just showed you how to do. You guys follow that? So that's what a real trainer should be doing. They should be walking you through that entire process so that you know how to do it yourself. So Sharon, like you did a really fantastic job working with Darryl, and Darryl, thanks for allowing us to talk to you, being transparent here. So Sharanda, you want to close us out with anything on that?
No, I mean, you just hit it on the nail. Like, I mean, you know, Sharon, a new field trainer, she picked up on some great nuggets and she's used that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everything that, you know, I've learned, you know, we've trained, you know, and like you say, you know, it's always the duplication, you know what I'm saying? You and Lamar trained me, you know, I went out into the field, I did the work, you know, and, you know, it's duplication, and that's what you want here, you know, and that's what I say about these people that stick and stay. You know, Sharon's a new field trainer, and she, you know, she learned the process, right? I mean, you can hear it, everything word for word, you know, and so, and then, you know, like I always go back to Donna. We're going to train on Wednesday, right? And we're going to talk about that, you know, because, you know, that's what the leaders always say. Can you duplicate it? Like you got ring earners, right? You duplicated yourself, right? And that's what it's about. And that's what brings me pleasure is that accountability group, we get together and it comes out, right? Everybody's doing their deal. Everybody's closing deals. And that's what helps because it's duplicatable. You just said it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what I don't know how they say it. Well, you know, I don't know how they say it, but it's always the duplication you want. You know, like you talked about the EDs. You want somebody because you know you can do it, but if it's not duplicatable, it's not gonna work. It's gonna fall apart. But you see the duplication. You do. I mean, like Sharon just rattled off my whole presentation. That's duplicatable, right? But I bet Darryl, Wanda, I bet everybody, you know what I'm saying? They done came to this platform enough, they can too. I mean, I keep talking about Wanda because if you hear Wanda, you'll be like, whoa, you know, because Wanda got it down pat. And I know a lot of them do, but Wanda, man, she will tell, like you talked about the safety score just a minute ago, like what Miss Rosie did. I mean, that's what this group brings. It's like you say, it's duplicatable. That's what they're doing on the Blitz, right? That's what they're making the appointments. They're saying the stuff to get the appointments to close the deal. That's what is rewarding, right? You know, it's just a process. You know, it just trickles down. And that's some good stuff. That's amazing.
And it's funny because that's how it is in family. It's the same way. So leadership, and that's just funny because like the book, the book that I put out there, you know, a month ago, or whatever, when I finished it, my leadership book is Leadership Matters, right? Life and business balance. So because leadership is not just I'm running a business. It's not just I have a high position in my corporate job. It is life, family, it's home, like it's leadership in the house. And if you think about the same thing, like a mom, especially a mother, right? You have a child and you do a good job with that child. If she's a daughter, does she know how to raise her daughter based on the way you raise her? Not just is she a good daughter. I don't want to hear all the stories about the good college she went to and the good job she got and how she married a good man. How is she raising her child based on the way you raise her? Did you instill motherhood into her or just how to be a woman? Right? Can she show her daughter how to be a woman now? Because, right, if you go at an early age, can she now leave a legacy of what she learned from you, that you learned from your mother, that she learned from her mother? It's got to be duplicated. It's got to be duplicatable at home. And it's the same thing with men for fathers, right? Right? When you look at yourself, do you see your son in you, right? Is your son treating his girlfriend like you treat his mother? You guys follow? So it's got to be duplicatable all the way down. Right? All the way down, not just what they're doing, but what they're instilling to other people. So when you see your son with his son, is he's giving him the lessons that you gave him, that your father gave him. That's what's going to bring the smile the same way when that ED breaks in ED, or when that ED breaks in ED, Brad breaks in ED. And you like, man, that went all the way down there from up here, right? And that's how it is when you're working with somebody in the field. When you show them how to do something and then they duplicate it, and then they show somebody else how to do it, and then they duplicate it. And it's like, man, this is really duplicatable. It's really going down. I don't have to be here. I did it once with somebody and they're carrying that process on, and it works. It works. Look at how many quotes we say right now, and we put at the end of it who wrote the quote. Most of the time, that's not even who wrote it. You know how many times you put Jim Rohn on the end of something and it came from Zig Ziglar? You know how many times you put Zig Ziglar on the bottom of something and it came from somebody that was here 100 years before Zig Ziglar? That stuff ain't new. But that's just where we heard it. That's where we heard it. A lot of Jim Rohn stuff comes from Zig Ziglar if you listen to Zig Ziglar. A lot of Eric Thomas stuff comes from Les Brown if you listen to Les Brown. But we hear it one place and we think that's where it came from, but it's really duplicatable. And it's okay because you get the message. You get the message. And that's what I like about all of this. That's why I love when I hear people talk about the Thursday night calls, right? And because, so, you know, somebody contacted me 2 months ago. Hey, so Sharonda's call on Thursday, like, I said, that's Sharanda call. Like, I started the call on Monday. Sharanda started one on Thursday. Hopefully somebody start one on Saturday. Right? Like that's what we want. That's what we want. We want it to keep duplicating because we want leaders to see value in pouring into people on another day of the week. Because if every single day you can get poured into by another leader, then we all win. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be somebody. Sharanda learned it. She said, "Oh, he started a call. It worked. So well, let me start a call of a different sort. This is an open call. Let me start a call for people who get down to business. And start that call and let them people plug into that call because everybody needs to plug into where they're at. Does that make sense? Got to duplicate this thing, guys. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys sticking with us every single week on this stuff, guys. I threw up in the chat the form so you can download it because that's what we're going to be talking about next week, that smart goal sheet. Just click it, download it, guys, and then you can pull it back up and you can start typing your goals into it. Download as many as you want so you can play around with it. Start working on that goal sheet now. Start typing in there, start setting up your goals, guys. I know you're thinking it's time consuming. Don't do it tonight. I know it's the end of the month. You got to close out. But when December 1st starts, guys, start working on your new year. You got to work on your new year. I know we want to close strong, but you got to know where you're going next year. Start setting up them smart goals. Start looking at where you want to go. Start looking at how you want to increase your calls, how you want to increase your sales, how you want to increase your recruiting, how you want to increase your bottom line. And remember, guys, and I know this is it's a debatable and a controversial topic to some, but at the end of the day, I'm telling you guys, quit running for ED and start running for that money. You ain't got. If you want to be an ED, then stay at your job. That's the level up position. You want to make some money, run for that money. You will land on ED. I promise you make $4,000 a month. You ain't gonna miss executive director. But I'm gonna tell you this from personal experience. You will hit executive director and not make $4,000 in a month several times. So shoot for $1,000 a week and see what you land on ED. You ain't got to check your numbers. You make $1,000 a week and see whether or not you hit executive director or not. You don't have to worry about that, guys. Worry about making that money. And I'm not saying chase the bag like money is the most important thing, but when you're running your business day to day, you got to have an income goal if you want to make money.
Chase the bag.
Chase the bag. Right? You got to go after that money, guys. If you want your business and your life to change, you got to go after money. If you want to stop going to restaurants and looking at the price before you look at what you want to order, you better start chasing. Because a ring ain't going to do that. A ring just going to look good while you're flipping through the menu. That money going to let you order whatever you want. Baby, get whatever you want. Some of y'all go to restaurants, you don't even want to get appetizers because you can't afford appetizers in the middle. I know, I've been there. So I'm just telling you, go after that money. Because all of that other stuff that they saying is important, You land on that stuff, guys. You're going to land on that stuff because that's why they got the stuff there so that you can make money. So instead of chasing all that stuff to get to the money, just chase the money and land on that stuff. That's the easier route. Just telling you, it works that way. So Sharon, anything before we close out? You good?
I think Sharon trying to talk.
Oh, Sharon, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sharon.
No worries. I just wanted to step back one for that duplicatable process. Darryl stayed in contact with me from the beginning to end. Before we got on the phone with the personnel, we was on our phone game planning for 20 minutes so I can go over A, B, C, and D, and told him, okay, look out for this, look out for that, due to the simple fact that she may say something that I don't get to write down, and he need to catch it. And he did it to the T. He wrote down everything as if he was a human translator of the questions that I asked, stuff that he hadn't heard before, in the CDLP space of what I was just asking for the discovery question. So now he get to go and duplicate that. I showed him the paperwork as well because teach them, show them, let them. That's how I operate. So they will know how to come to the table next time with just knowing all of that. So my 19 years of experience is rolled out to anybody that I train. And it's just rolled out just easily just by listening to the trainings on Monday nights, listening to our trainings on Thursday nights. And, with me being a well-rounded associate, all the other trainings that's coming through corporate. So with that, Robert, I'll turn the call back over to you so we can close it out for the evening.
All right, good stuff, guys. So Thursday night accountability call with Sharon Ivy. Don't forget next Monday, this call, Smart Goals, going over how we're gonna start our new year. We've got January. No, remember December there won't be a CDLP training, but January 7th, I believe it's Saturday, January 7th. Alan Roman and myself will be doing a CDLP training to start the new year off. I'll be working with Alan on that. I think it's January 5th or 7th. I believe it's the 7th though, for that training. But you will see some information posted, Alan, to get it out there, and then we'll promote it. I'll send some emails about that as well. Blitz tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Make sure you got your list ready. Make sure you pulled your companies. Make sure you got your safety score information somewhere. If you want to find the Thursday accountability call information, go to the CDLP Facebook page, click on announcements, and scroll down until you see a graphic that says welcome. That's the post. It says welcome. It's like a colorful graphic. It's posted by Sharon Ivy, and then the details are right there to get involved in a Thursday accountability call. So you got the Facebook page as well. If you missed our trainings, go to the YouTube, to my YouTube channel. You can go to Training by Dunbar or Robert A. Dunbar III, whichever one you want. Go down to the playlist because I have other things on my YouTube channel. So if you're looking for the CDLP, just scroll down to the playlist, to the weekly CDLP call. Start at the newest call and go back. If you have not looked at the third annual CDLP certification training, click on that one first. Look at that first and then start at week 66 and then go back from there, or episode 66 and then go back from there. So guys, have a fantastic rest of your week. Close the month strong. I hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving. And we look forward to hearing from you guys all next week. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much. Good night, all.
Thank you, everybody. Fantastic
Thank you,
call.
everyone.
Thank you. Have a
Look
good
forward
evening,
to seeing you
everybody.
next week.
Great job, Darryl.
Daryl.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Daryl.
Daryl. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Way to
Congratulations, Daryl.
go. Way to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Sharon, for helping him.
My
Thank you,
pleasure,
Sharon.
Mr.
Thank you
Al.
so much, Sharon.
Oh, you're
Barbara
welcome,
knocked it
Daryl.
out of the
Most definitely.
park. Way to go. Yeah.
Ready for the next one.
Okay, we'll see you next week, everyone.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a great one.
Night.
How about who is David?
I don't know, but he said that he couldn't find it. I went on. I sent it to him directly. I just went, I just sent it, but I just direct messaged him because instead of me posting it again and I'm not being able to find it, I just sent it directly to him. Yeah, guys, make sure y'all click on that so that y'all have that. I'm gonna send an email out with that SMART goal sheet as well. But the more you guys can get it and grab it, the better. But I will send the email out. But that's the sheet that we're going to use and to go over SMART goals next week to make sure you guys are set on that stuff.
All right, night, y'all.
All right, good night. Thanks a lot, Sharanda.
Thank y'all. Awesome.